Preparing for the fall and winter months is not only for you, but for your home as well. Checking to see that the roof is up to date, gutters are cleaned or replaced, and those are important steps to staying ahead of any disasters. Joining us live to tell us more on what you can do and when you should contact a professional is home expert Jack Borba of Straight Line Construction. Jack, thanks for joining us. Even though it's fall, we've seen the warm temperatures. It's starting to really cool down now as we look at the forecast. Why are roofing companies talking about preparing for winter already?
You know, it's really time to call a roofer if you're at all concerned about your roof. We're getting a lot of calls for gutters right now, which are important as well. But often the biggest problem that'll cause the most amount of damage is the roof. So make sure you're looking at the condition of the roof, look at your ceiling, look in your attic, and just overall think about the last time your roof was put on. If it's any more than 15 or 20 years, it's definitely time to have that roof looked at again.
Right, it wouldn't hurt to get it looked at and be sure. And right now is when a lot of roofers start to get booked out. That's what you've told us. And it's best to really get ahead of it and plan ahead. Are there certain things homeowners should look for?
For sure. Like I was saying, definitely want to look at your ceilings. Definitely want to look at the age of the home. Look underneath your eaves, so behind the gutters essentially, and look for any signs of dry rot. So often people think that's a gutter problem, but it's actually a roof problem or a tie-in between the roof and the gutters.
What about when we talk about tile roofs? I mean, is that a benefit to have a tile roof? Are there a lot of pros that go with that?
Yeah, I think aesthetically tile roofs can look very beautiful. And generally, if done right, they can be a good roof. But they are generally problematic, especially when it comes to having debris in your valleys. And often when they were installed in, using very thin felt paper. And unfortunately, as opposed to a composition roof, your tile roof is only as good as the paper underneath it. And we end up spending our winters repairing tile roofs. So also, if you have a tile roof, don't think you're in good shape and don't have to worry about it, because that's probably not the case.
Okay, that's good advice. Tile roofs need some maintenance too. Now, going back to the gutters you were talking about, a lot of people are calling to have their gutters repaired, checked out, cleaned out. What are some of the benefits when we talk about a new gutter system or guard?
They can help big time with safety. So we've had some customers fall off the roof from trying to clean gutters. So getting a proper gutter system can help minimize dry rot, erosion, and help keep you off the roof if you get one of our special gutter guard systems.
And we're talking about, taking a look at things now before the really cold weather sets in or before the rain starts to come down. How often should people be looking at their gutter systems and having those guards and everything looked at?
As soon as all the leaves drop, you definitely want to get your gutters cleaned out and prepare for those first storms. Often, right now, we'll have just a little lull in phone calls because we haven't had any rain. But this is the time to call roofers when there isn't any rain, because before we get that first rain, or right after we get that first rain, our phones explode, and then you can't even get an appointment for a few weeks. So please call now rather than wait until after it rains.
And is this something that homeowners can do themselves, or how important is it to hire a professional?
Construction is very dangerous. Roofing being one of the most dangerous professions, and gutters are probably the most dangerous of all of those trades because they're right on the edge. So I highly would not recommend using anybody that isn't licensed, bonded, and insured, not just a contractor. Make sure you have a professional do it.
And I know right now with a lot of people spending a lot more time at home, they're taking a closer look at the house and around the house outside, picking out things that need to be done. But is there a priority and order in the way things should be done when the homeowner's getting work at the house?
That's a great question. And often we go to people's homes and they've spent so much time doing a bathroom remodel or a kitchen remodel, or they just painted their home. But you want to make sure and do roofing in the same order that you would building a house. And so treat a remodel like building a home. And so you always want to make sure those walls are up. And the very next thing is make sure it's watertight, so you're not doing any damage to anything underneath. Painting is like the icing on the cake. You want to do that last. So get the house up, get the roof on, and then worry about everything else. So start with the roof first.
And Jack, I mentioned how, there's a lot of people who've been home a lot more during the pandemic. They're noticing all these little repairs they want to do or upgrades to the home. Are you guys experiencing, a lot more interest in staying busy because of that?
Yeah, we've never been busier, and we find that a lot of our other people we work with in the trades are busier than they've ever been right now.
Right. So it's important. You got to call now. Don't delay because, like you said, when those storms come, that phone's going to be ringing off the hook. Appreciate you joining us, Jack. For a free estimate on your roof, you can visit straightlineconstruction.com. There are so many new pet owners this year because of the pandemic. And after the break, we're going to get some tips on how to best care for our furry friends. YCL will be right back.
This interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.